All right, how'd that go for you? Did you get your 2 more tables in there? We got the bills, we created that one together. Now we got expenses and we got subscriptions. Now again, there were several little steps that we took inside of there to build out those tables. And I love the consistency. They all look the same. They're going to contain different bits of data for us, but the visual appeal to them, they look the same. Now, we're going to create one more table here, and it's going to look just like these, but it's going to go on the expense tracker worksheet. I'm going to hop over to the worksheet just next door, expense tracker. Currently, it's empty. Well, we're going to build out another table much like the ones we generated earlier. This table is where we're going to actually input when we pay one of those bills, expenses, or subscriptions. Let's try it out. So I'm going to hop into a cell someplace. I'm just going to pick a cell. I'll say B3, and we can always move it around later on to fit our needs. Maybe I'll do B2. Let's just skip a row, skip a column. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add some headers. I'm going to add the table formatting and so on. And you know what? Actually, I'm going to go down to B3, and we'll see why here in a moment. So B3, I'll start with my headers. So we're going to call this the expense column. That's going to be the name of the expense. I'll tab on over. We're going to have the date we actually paid it, tab over. We'll have the amount, tab again, and we'll have the description. We'll describe what this bill was, right, if we need to. All right, that looks good. Now I'm going to highlight that row plus the row down below. What am I going to do next? I'm going to go to Home, and I'm going to go to Format as Table. And I'll just grab the same one again. I like the blue color. There's my table range. My table does have headers. Thank you very much. All right, there's the beginnings of my table. I'll drag that down a few rows. This one's going to be quite big. This is the one that we're going to input every bill, expense, or subscription that we pay during the month. The other tables that we built earlier will look to this table to see if we've paid it. Okay, we'll get to that later on. All right, what else do we need to do here? I'll click into the table. I'm going to go to the Table Design tab. I'm going to turn off the Filter button. I'm going to turn on the Total row. Cool. Let's see, it should actually be the second to last column. So I'll say none for description, and I'll do a sum for the amount there. All right, what else? We need to name the table. So I click into the table, Table Design, hop over to the name, and I'll call this TBL Expense Tracker. All right, we got our table just about there. Let's see, we can do some additional formatting. Maybe I want the header. Remember, I went down a couple of rows. I'll grab those cells. I'll merge them together. I'm going to click into there. We'll call this the expense tracker. We can do some formatting on it. Whatever you did before, we'll apply it here. I like that thicker border. I like that one color. That looks pretty good. Top, left, right. Got a nice border on there. Bold, make that a little bigger. I'm going to anticipate that these are going to be quite a bit wider. Description, probably quite a bit wider. Let's see, that amount column, I'm going to grab those cells and I'll format them using the currency, right? Make sure that's nice and wide. And that table, I think that table's done. That looks pretty good. So let's knock that one out. You're going to follow those same steps that we did before, but now we're on the expense tracker worksheet, and you'll build out the expense tracker table. Make it look like your other ones. If you like, maybe you want to mix it up, change the color, right? Maybe I'm not going to go with the blue. Maybe I'll go with an orange or something else. But we'll create some variety here. Whatever you'd like to do. Let's get to that point right there, and then we'll carry forward.